Hey, what's guys, it's Kiwi Coded, and this is the Yan 3, or how I like to call it, the Yuxiao version 2. Let's take a look. So yes, the Yan and the Yuxiao are two very similar cubes, right down to their appearance. So they have the same squared off corners with a rounded center, these same really good Moji stickers, which are really well fitted, extremely durable, and look really good, and have the exact same size. So both of these cubes are 56mm. Most of you guys will probably like this size. I personally don't because I'm coming from a Volk. It's just a tad bit too big for me, but it doesn't make too much of a difference. So on the outside, the Yan and the Yuxiao are two very similar cubes. In fact, if you gave these cubes to me and put no logo on it, I would have no way to tell which is which, just on the outside. That is, until I start turning it, where I could notice a bit of a difference. Which I guess brings us to the turning, and while these cubes are both very similar, there are a few things that make the Yan different from the Yuxiao. First off, the Yan is lighter than the Yuxiao. Both cubes do have that crispy and light feel, but the Yan is lighter. The Yan is also faster and smoother than the Yuxiao. So the Yuxiao, when you turn it, there is a bit of resistance, but on the Yan it's completely smooth. Might actually be the most smooth cube on the market next to the Aurora. And it's also super fast. I really like this because I love fast cubes, which is why I'm using a Volk, but some people like having a more controllable cube like the Yuxiao. So whether you like this or not, it comes down to your personal preference. Both of these cubes have those small little catches you get here and there, although on the Yan it is slightly worse, and that is because the Yan is a bit less stable than the Yuxiao. Now it's still a really stable cube, it's just that the Yuxiao is the most stable cube on the market in my opinion, so you really can't beat it. Now moving on to other things, corner cutting was really good. It went almost 2 pieces with a bit of force, and reverse was 1 piece with very little force. Although there is this one place on the cube that just can't cut, and that's how a few lockups occur, although it's not a big deal. And obviously there is 0 pops. So overall, the turning of the Yan has a few things that put it above the Yuxiao and below the Yuxiao, but here's how I would rank the turning of the Yan compared to other flagships. So it's below the Volk, on par with the Yuxiao, and above the Gans Air and the Weilong GTS. I know some people really love the Gans Air, I just personally think it's alright. So now that we got the performance out of the way, let's take a look at the mechanism. So overall the design is pretty unique. It draws inspiration from the Volk and the Yuxiao, but it does have a few design features on its own that make it unique. So first off, the centers have this huge curve around the top of the piece, and that allows for more flexibility. Although this is why the cube is a little bit less stable than others. The corners also have this really large rod, and the edges have this bump around the top. And another thing I noticed was that the pieces had very little tracks, and this is why the cube was so smooth. So overall the Yan is a pretty good cube, and it will be a great cube for those who love the Yuxiao. But does it perform as good as the Volk? Well, no, this is a $13 383 that we were talking about, but for the price, the Yan 3 is very good, and I am going to give it a B+. It's a good performer, and I recommend it to most people looking for a new main, although if you already have a Volk, there's really no point in getting this. That's all for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.